Oh, cash means to me a lot of really great things.
Cash to me is community.
A vehicle for educating us about us.
It's the diaspora taking power for themselves.
It's an outlet for learning.
It represents the togetherness of the Black community.
Cash means uplifting stories. It means the diaspora.
Cash is an exemplification of building community generationally. So we start with kids, we have young adults, we have parents, and then we have those who started it 37 years ago, are 70 plus years old and volunteering.
This is what cash has been to me, like helping. We don't choose who to help, we help whoever wants to help.
It doesn't just mean an organization. It is, one, partly because of the history of cash, that it has helped me become who I am today, from high school, being part of AfriQuiz, becoming a tutor, and now being on the board. I feel like cash is the vehicle to make a change.
Probably the biggest thing that cash means to me is worth and identity, and seeing that there is a group of people in this city dedicated to making our culture the forefront of the people that we serve.
It means family, it means community, it means people coming together because they see the benefit and working towards the goal of that benefit.
I did a qualitative case study, so I used a number of different means to collect data, including interviewing different stakeholders in the organization. So I interviewed administrators from CACH, I interviewed students who had used the tutoring services in the past and had now finished up high school. I interviewed current students, so students who are still utilizing tutoring. I interviewed tutors as well, and the parents. And I also analyzed AfriQuiz study materials over, I think it was a 3-year period, and did some participant observation of tutoring sessions over a period of a couple months. And so what I found out was that all the different stakeholders, the parents and the students and the tutors, they all felt that CACH was making a very significant contribution to the education of Black students, and also was helping to build Black communities in Edmonton. So I know there were students who shared that their grades in the subjects they were receiving tutoring in had actually improved. They were getting higher marks, much higher marks, after starting the tutoring and being consistent with it. There were parents too who shared that they saw improvement in their children's, whether it was the grades or improvements in their reading or another such area.
It helps youth, which is very important. I think as Black youth, coming out of the womb, we are born into a stereotype, into a marginalized group. We are not a human first, we are a Black human first, which means that they will stereotype us and put that into a box where then we will think, okay, well, if they're telling me I'm part of that box, I am a part of that box, so I'm meant to do this, that, which might not always be positive.
It's a place where you have the support of people in your ethnic community to learn and to develop as a student and achieve your academic potential or work towards achieving a higher level of academic success, and that was crucial to me. But beyond that, CACH is also an organization that is here to provide awareness of Black culture and Black history, especially for younger people, where we don't see a lot of that in our society or even educational system. It's extremely important to have that for young up-and-coming Black people.
These programs are very important. They make the individual youth or person feel valued. They make them feel confident that when I see a college student tutoring me and they have these private one-on-one conversations before or after their sessions, and they learn about the aspirations of someone older and the opportunities from them that are ahead of them, it just drives them to want to be better and educate themselves and do everything they can to be a stronger pillar in the community. So yeah, so on an individual level, these kind of programs are valued.
Being able to say with pride and no shame at all that my family is from Ghana is something that's so cool, because growing up, I didn't feel that. I felt very isolated and very off-put by even being called Black. And now it is everything about me that I embody and that I love. And I think being a part of CACH has really helped pull that from me, that my culture is beautiful and that my culture is right and that everything that I do in my culture is so important. So being able to be a member of an organization that really makes that the forefront for everyone, including students, and starting from first grade kids all the way up, is something that's so special to me.
You know, I think it's very important for Edmonton's Black community to support initiatives that CACH puts on, because it's for the Black community. The likelihood of those outside our community providing that support is less. And they do. There is definitely organizations that are typically quote unquote white-run organizations that do support and help. But I think that the emphasis, often that assistance or that support comes more in a charitable means as opposed to community building. So Black people can support other Black people by supporting Black organizations. Bring your children to be part of our programming. Bring your volunteer time to be part of our programming so that you can see your own children succeed in it.
I think it's important that the Edmonton as a community supports this initiative to get the word out there, so that we have more visibility, we have the funds to help the Black community be better. If there's a scholarship program, for example, it's important that, you know, people or, you know, businesses or associations in Edmonton come together to improve the Black community, seeing that the more you feed into this group, these children are also going to grow up someday to give back to their community. So I think that it's important for visibility and just the overall picture and the goal that CACH hopes to achieve.
Our development, our advancement, our upliftment, our beauty and magnificence have to matter to us more than they would matter to anybody else. In fact, it's inconceivable that they would matter to other people more than they would matter to us. So if these things are going to flourish, then they require our stewardship. But I also want to make sure that I'm saying that in a way that people don't think I'm talking about this as some type of a burden, like, you know, if nobody contributes, then this thing's gonna die and then we'll all feel bad. I mean, that's a lousy, I don't like people guilting me into stuff. What I do like is discovering that things are really exciting and fun and neat. Now, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like some things are, when you are on a committee, are boring, okay? But that doesn't mean that you have to do that part. You know, if you are, for instance, there's a band called Melafrique. And Melafrique is a superb band. I mean, I just cannot believe how good they are. I love listening to them. They're also delightful human beings. And, you know, if you go to Afriquiz, you're gonna see them play. And their contribution is from their great talents. So if, you know, some people, you know, I know it's very popular for people to say things like, I'm just no good at math. But obviously loads of people are good at math, okay? Including loads of our people who are really good at math. And, you know, maybe they have a tough time with poems. Maybe they're never gonna be an MC, but they can certainly bust some quadratic equations, okay? So when your organization needs bookkeeping, like they're ready to, they will have fun, you know, but don't make them give a speech. They don't want to give a speech. So partly what I'm saying is that it's critical for people when they're thinking of themselves as having a responsibility, I think of the things that you have fun doing, that you love doing, especially if other people don't love doing them, because that means you've got a power, you've got a talent. You can volunteer that.
I think we get bogged down enough by society and the news and social media on what Blackness should look like, and being able to support each other on what Blackness is in our city and how we connect with each other and how we operate together is so important. And to see more and more people supporting local businesses, local nonprofits that are all Black women, Black men, Black person led are so important. It's even more important now in the height of 2023, in the rise of all of the negative vitriol and things we see online. It's so important now to showcase to each other that we've got each other, we've got each other's backs, we're here to support one another. And having nonprofit and nonprofit come together to work together on initiatives, or local Black businesses partner with organizations like CCACH, there's a benefit for all. Everybody eats, everybody wins. It's so important that we are able to showcase each other, platform each other, and celebrate one another.
We're raising future leaders, and for future leaders to be able to grow up and be the next David Shepherd, or they have to have a foundation. And I'm sorry if I keep repeating the foundation, but I think it's the most important thing. Like, if our Black community isn't supporting CCACH, then we're morphing into something different. Our kids they're going to go into a different direction. Like I said, when they go out there, they're minority, and I've been through it before as a kid. I know that I wanted to fit in, but I grew up a little bit different. I grew up in Jamaica. It was mostly Black kids. So now the difference was, okay, so it's all Black, and now you have different groups. You have the group that was in the library every day, or you had the group that was under the tree every day, or you had the group that was jumping the fence and going to smoke weed every day. Now you had to choose which group you're gonna be in. And here, you still have those groups, but now it's different. So when it's a different culture of kids that maybe your child, your little Black child, is now following, if there's any problems or anything that comes up where there's the law that's involved, your child might not get the same privilege that the other child beside them that they're following is doing. Your child might be judged harsher than that other child. So now, you have to make sure that your child has that foundation. And if there's an organization like CCACH that's offering that, and it's free programming, take advantage of it.
Because it's about the future. Like right now, when we're talking about those programs, it's all about the future of the young ones who are in school. For those people who went through the programs, tutoring program or CCACH 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 40 years ago, most of them are living successful life in Canada. That was their past. Today is their future. So the reason why it's really important to support this program is, A, the Black community is not decreasing. We are actually increasing demographically, more people are coming in, more families are moving to Canada, and therefore they're coming to new environment, new school systems, and therefore it's important that we support organizations like CCACH so that we can expand these programs. When we expand these programs, it means more families get to have their children benefit from the programs academically, also to help these families and their kids improve their social capital. They get more friends from their peers, more mentors, right? And we couldn't think of anything else. If there's someone who said it's not what one lives for these kids, right? It's what matters is what one lives in these kids. What is it that you are bequeathing the youth that we are talking about right now, right? What is that you you bequeath them. Part of it is helping each other, right? Helping each other. You don't have to be the smartest to become a tutor, right? You don't have to be the smartest, right? You just have to be a passionate person, because you can have a smart person who is totally impatient, right? And you just be a disaster to a program, right? You want people who are passionate, who are giving back to the community, and therefore we expand the program so that we can have more people coming in and enjoying the spring waters of the tutoring and cash programs.
They talk about FUBU, for us, by us. That is really the main reason why the Black community especially needs to support, because otherwise when you get funding and support from other sources, it's with strings, it's restricted, it's with expectation. But again, when you think about the needs of the Black community, you can put in what you want if you are helping to support.